One Christmas, my mother finally looked at me and says, "What do you want for Christmas?" And none of that stuff about printing. She was really tired of buying printing stuff like composing sticks and lead cutters and all this sort of thing. My name is McComas, and I am from Millwood, West Virginia, and I have been a letterpress printer for 50 years. When I was about 6 years old, I discovered an L.C. Smith Corona typewriter up in the second story of our house. I started messing around with the keys, and then I got the idea, go down, get the newspaper, and copy the headlines onto a piece of 8.5 by 11 white paper. So I would type one letter at a time, and when I was 9.5, every month I would put out a newspaper, and people began to expect it. They would write letters to their relatives on the back of them and then send the paper to them so they'd know what's going on in Cottageville. That just started my desire for newspapers, type, printing, any of that kind of stuff. It all started there. My 5th grade teacher showed me an ad from Popular Mechanics where I could have my own printing press, a professional one that really printed, not these rubber things that they give kids. And so I showed that to my parents and I said, "This is what I want for Christmas." I worked with that thing so much and only had one font of type, and it could only print about the size of a business card. But I was down there all the time and they could see that I loved it, and I wanted the 5 by 8. From that point on, I started collecting type, and I did stationery for local ladies, and I did business cards for people, statements and bill heads and letterheads and that sort of thing. I'd actually go around selling them door to door. Offset and modern digital printing, well, there's no romance to it whatsoever. There's no connection to the past. When you set type by hand, you're doing it exactly as Gutenberg, the inventor of movable type, did in 1550. There are noises. Those machines seem like they're alive. A linotype machine invented in 1886. Those little brass mats come down out of that machine and they make a little tinkling noise that is nothing like it in the world. And I miss it so much because the only place I can hear it is on the internet. The rumble of a letterpress and the gigantic machine printing and moving back and forth and the type actually touching the paper. There is something to that is just different. I can't even describe it. There is a romance to it. There's a feeling of the connection to the past.